Hey, it's Randy at Funeral Funds of America. In this video, I'm going to share with you the actual pricing for $20,000 worth of burial, cremation, final expense, life insurance, or funeral funds for a 59-year-old female. Now, first thing I recommend is going directly to our website, and just about every page we have at funeralfunds.com, we have these quoters, and all you need to do is just select the state that you live in. We are licensed in all 50 states, by the way. Select the coverage amount, put your birthday in there, the rest of the info, click Get Quotes Now. It will take you to a page that's going to show you all the best insurance companies with all the lowest rates based off your age, gender, and the state you live in. It's terrific. Take advantage of it. You can also call us at 888-862-9456, and one of our agents can help you understand exactly what you can qualify for and answer any questions you have. So the first thing a 59-year-old female should ask herself when looking for $20,000 worth of insurance is $20,000 worth of insurance going to be adequate to cover her final expense needs? Now, when we're talking final expense, we're typically talking cremation or burial. So let's start with cremation. You know, the average cost of a cremation right now in the United States is between $1,000 to $2,000. That's where you come home in a cardboard box or an urn. If you're going to have some sort of ceremony, like a remembrance of life or celebration of life ceremony in addition to the cremation, that's probably going to be $3,500 to $4,500, depending what part of the country you live. So coverage-wise, we would probably recommend around $5,000 to $7,000. That's what most people get for that cremation where you come home in a cardboard box or an urn. Now, you might be saying, well, Randy, you know, you said the cremation was $2,000, and then you said we should get $5,000 of insurance. What's going on? Well, here's what's going on. Our 59-year-old female probably wants to make it to age 69 and 79, maybe 89. So we want to make sure we get enough coverage to inflation-proof the plan, because we know pricing will go up over time. That's just what inflation does. So what we do is we get a little more coverage than we actually need, and we get qualified at the current age, which is the youngest age, which is always going to be the lowest pricing. And what that does is, as time goes on, you're going to have enough money in the future to pay for your final expenses. And then what it also does is that in the short term, God forbid, if you did pass away sooner than anybody thought, there's a little extra money to maybe pay off some other bills like credit card debt or medical expenses that, if given the gift of time, you would have paid those off. So it's really terrific. You inflation-proof the plan long-term, provide a little extra coverage short-term. Now, if you're looking at that cremation with the ceremony, we'd typically recommend around $7,000 to $10,000 a month. Again, we're inflation-proofing your policy in the long term and just covering some extra coverage in the short term if you didn't live as long as anybody thought. Now, if you're going to be buried, the average cost of a burial right now in the United States is right around $10,000. If you walk into pretty much any funeral home in the United States and with a $10,000 check, they should get things done. It's not like they would say, nope, we can't do that, and you'll have to leave, and then you can just walk down the road to one of their competitors and give them the money. But just understand, at $10,000, that's going to be a very simple kind of bare bones ceremony in this day and age. So, I mean, if that's all you can afford is $10,000, that's cool. Get that right now, and at least you'll take care of the most immediate needs. Just understand that policy is not going to be inflation-proofed. So what we would typically help a 59-year-old female is get something like between $10,000, $15,000, or $20,000. And it just kind of depends how fancy of a thing you want and how long you think you may live. But again, if you need to start smaller, you can always get the $10,000, and we can always help you add more coverage later. Now, sometimes people will say, hey, I want to take care of my final expenses and give my children some extra money. And so they'll say, well, what's like $30,000, $40,000, or $50,000? And, you know, a lot of times, let's say it's just $50,000, and we'll give them that price. And then a lot of times they'll go, oof, we can't afford that. We're not going to do anything then. That's just too much, because they're on a fixed or limited income. And we have to kind of have a conversation with them saying, hey, you know what? You came here for the final expense insurance, and it was more kind of a want than a need to leave some money for the kids. But if you don't take care of the final expenses, then the kids by default are going to have to pay for this. And typically they're going to have to pay for it with a credit card at 26% interest, and they'll be paying on it years and years and years and years. So why don't we do this? Why don't we get the final expense policy taken care of now? And then at some point in the future, if you want to add extra coverage for the kids, we can do that at that time. And it works wonderfully well doing it that way. Now, if money's not a concern, of course you can do everything all at once. We're happy to help you out with that. But just keep in mind there's more than one way to do this. And typically it's just kind of determined by what your income and how much you want to spend on a monthly basis. Now, one thing we always recommend getting is first day coverage or benefits. That is really important. We do not recommend those plans with 2-year waiting periods, and I'll talk about those in a moment. So yeah, first day coverage or benefits, what that means is hypothetically, if your plan were issued and approved today and you died tomorrow, the insurance company would have to pay that $15,000, $20,000, $25,000, whatever the coverage amount was. It's going to be the best coverage, and it's going to get you the lowest pricing. Now, some people would say, well, Randy, you're right. I do like that first day coverage, but I'm not in the best of health, and I know they ask health questions, and I'm worried I'm not going to qualify. To which we say, hey, that's our problem, not your problem, at least from an insurance standpoint. And that's why we work with so many different insurance companies, because all the companies have different health questions. They all have different underwriting. And right now, we're getting about 90 to 95% of the people we help protected with first day coverage or benefits. Really, the only reason you wouldn't qualify for that is if you waited too long and you had some significant health issues, like maybe you had a terminal illness and you're going to die in the next 12 months, or you had dementia, or you're on dialysis, or in a hospital, or in a nursing home. If that were the case, we would typically refer you out to a different insurance company. Now, one thing that also happens is, seems like on a weekly basis, somebody will call us up and say, hey, we had a family member pass away this last week, and they didn't have any insurance, and we don't have any money, and now their body's down at the funeral home, and the funeral home director is not going to do anything till he gets a check in his hand. So we need to get this insurance really quick so we can get paid by the insurance company so we can pay the funeral home director. To which we have to let them know there's no company in the United States that's going to offer a policy on a dead person, on somebody who's already died. You have to be alive to qualify for this insurance. So it's terrible that they had a family member pass away. But, it's doubly terrible they didn't have this insurance in place. They knew they were going to die someday. They probably thought about getting this insurance, and they delayed and they delayed and they put it off. And then one day they just went and died. Now their family has to take care of this and pay for this. And chances are they're going to have to put it on credit cards at 26% interest. And they're probably going to have to pay this off years and years and years from now. What a terrible legacy to leave behind that, you could have done everything else right in life and you kind of messed this one thing up, just bad timing. You just died before you thought and you didn't get this insurance. And that's how you're going to be remembered from here on out. So don't do that. Don't do that to your family. Take care of your legacy. This insurance is affordable. If you need to, we can always start at a smaller amount and then increase coverage over time. Now, one thing we don't recommend is those plans with 2-year waiting periods. Yeah, and now Colonial Penn is one of those companies with their $9.95 plan. So you may not have known that. You may have not have known that Colonial Penn, that $9.95 plan that sounds so good on TV, that's a 2-year waiting period plan. Ouch. Yeah, ouch. You don't want that. But, Colonial Penn's that's not the only company that sells those 2-year waiting periods. There's other companies like, let's see, there's Mutual of Omaha, their United of Omaha line, AIG, Gerber, gosh, so many other companies. And some of those companies have done an amazing job of convincing the American public that if you're over age 50, the only thing you're going to qualify for is a plan with a 2-year waiting period, to which we always say, don't fall for such nonsense, because we help people with first day coverage all day long. Now, our 59-year-old female probably just got done watching one of those Colonial Penn commercials, and she's probably fairly impressed, going, oh my gosh, it sounds terrific. I'm probably going to get so much coverage for $9.95. I probably get $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, maybe even $50,000. And then she talks with a Colonial Penn agent and finds out that, it's not. it's not that much coverage. Or she looks on their website, like we've done for you here, and sees that 1 unit of coverage, which is $9.95, that's only going to provide $1,565 worth of coverage. Now, you got to keep in mind, I mean, $1,565 might pay, well, no, that should be enough for a cremation in most parts of the country, except for one thing. It's got a 2-year waiting period. It's not going to pay out any death benefit in the first 2 years if you die from a health or medical reason. So you're already starting out behind, because we know in 2 years, the inflation's going to make things cost more. And you're already starting behind with a policy just because you're trying to get a $9.95 rate. Obviously, that's not going to work for a burial. Not a chance. So, I mean, there's some people out there that say that these companies that, when they advertise these super low teaser rates, that they do so not because they want to sell you that low price plan, because it's not very profitable for them, but they actually do that to get your information, to get you into their marketing funnel so that they can sell you more insurance that's much more profitable for them. They're happy to show you how minimal the coverage is to try to sell you more. Now, we would never say that Colonial Penn would do anything like that, but some people seem fairly convinced. And I guess, you'll have to make that decision on your own by seeing, that $9.95 is only going to pay for $1,565 worth of insurance. Yikes, yikes. So, hey, the purpose of this video, though, is like $20,000. So let's see if we can even get $20,000 worth of insurance through Colonial Penn. They max out at 15 units. So let's see. Are we at like 13 units? There we go. Oh, gee, I came pretty close there pretty quick. I just guessed. But that's the thing, you got to guess around on this per unit pricing to figure out what you want, what they're going to pay. Because with Colonial Penn, you can't buy $20,000 with their $9.95 plan for a 59-year-old female. Because they sell it per unit, not per price, you're always going to end up with these really wackadoodle numbers like $20,345. I guess that $345 is expensive for some. Maybe buy some flowers. I don't know. But take a look. It's roughly $130 a month. So let's do this. Let's go take a look at some first day coverage and see if we can save you money. Here we go. So we're going to look at 20,000 right here. And we've got a female, age 59. And we're going to click get quote right there. While that's pulling up, we're going to go back and revisit this. Roughly 20,000 for roughly $130. And here we go, 59. I'm going to show you this because I want you to believe me. $20,000 with first day coverage. Level means first day coverage. That's only going to cost $59.41. So when you look at that, would you rather get $20,000 in first day coverage for roughly around $60, or would you rather get right around $20,000 with a 2-year waiting period for roughly $130? Yeah, it's just, man, I tell you what, that's going to be an extra, $65 more a month. So yeah, when you look at the price difference between that roughly $60 versus roughly $130, I mean, that's a $70 difference. And keep this in mind. Colonial Penn is going to overcharge you $70 more a month versus going with first day coverage for the rest of your life. Let's do the math on that. So $70 a month times 12 months, that's going to be roughly around $840 more a year that you're paying. And if our 59-year-old female lives to age 69, you have overpaid roughly $8,400 more just by going with a Colonial Penn 995 plan versus a first day coverage company where you can save a lot of money. And I don't know about you, but I think that $8,400 is roughly is better off in your bank account rather than an insurance company's bank account. And think about this. That's if you live an extra 10 years. If you lived another 20 years, you'd overpay right around $16,800 roughly. So you got to be a smart shopper. And it's okay if you're not a smart shopper. That's what we're here for. Give us a call at funeralfunds.com. We can help you get the lower rates. That's what we do. So yeah, but you just need to beware out there, especially some of these marketing things going on out there. But let's look at some other insurance companies here. Let's take a look. Well, here's one. I mean, roughly $10 more a month, Lumico, but you go, well, it's only $10 a month. Well, it's $120 a year more. After 10 years, you have overpaid, what, $1,200, $1,200? I mean, would you ever just pull out your wallet and throw $1,200 on the ground and walk away from it? Because that's essentially what you're doing when you overpay for this insurance. So don't do that. Be a smart consumer. Let's find one other company. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Lincoln Heritage, fine company, I guess, but oochie mama. You know, look at that, they're expensive, right? Yikes. Level first day coverage, that's desirable. But yeah, they're so much more expensive. And the reason is they've got a deal where when you pass away, they will supposedly call 2 or 3 different funeral homes to like check the lowest pricing and maybe do a couple other things. But you know, they don't do that for free. They charge you for that. That's why the premium's higher, right? It's basically $87 versus $87 versus $60. So Lincoln Heritage is about $27 more a month than our lowest price company here. So let's do the math on that. That's $27 a month times 12 months. That's roughly $324 a year. And then if our 59-year-old female makes it to age 69, you have overpaid right around $3,240 roundabout more. So you got to ask yourself, is it worth paying in an insurance company an extra $3,240 roughly to make 2 or 3 phone calls and maybe do a couple of other things that maybe only take an hour or so? There's a lot of people that say, hey, that's a pretty good payday for the insurance company. And yeah, I mean, if they work for an hour on this, that's $3,240 an hour. So we don't recommend you do that. We actually recommend you let us help you get approved for a lower price company and save you that money, keep it in your bank account versus the insurance companies. And then what we do is we offer a free funeral and estate planning guide, and you can download that free off our website and then print it out. And once it's printed out, you just fill it out. Just fill out who gets what goes where, and what you want to happen after you're gone. And then when you're done with that, you keep it with your insurance policy. And that way, when you pass away, your family members go to that safe place and they see that they're not only protected financially with the insurance policy, but protected emotionally with that funeral and estate planning guide. Because all they need to do is open that funeral and estate planning guide and start reading. And all they need to do is do exactly what you said. Just execute your wishes. And they will know that they're doing everything exactly how you wanted it done, and you provided the funds to take care of it with the insurance policy. And they will know that you not only loved and protected them in life, but you actually loved and protected them that one last time in death, exactly when they needed you the most, that one last time you can be there for them. And what a wonderful legacy to leave behind. So if you want to leave behind that legacy, reach out to us at funeralfunds.com. We've actually got a special quote for our YouTube viewers, funeralfunds.com/YouTube. You can find the best companies at the lowest pricing. Take full advantage of that. It's a wonderful thing for you when price shopping. You can also call us at 888-862-9456. One of our agents can run all the numbers for you or answer any questions. But, you know, if you've got an existing policy and you want to see if we can save you money, or you want to add coverage to that, we can help you out with that. If you are looking for brand new coverage, or you just have some questions about what might be most appropriate or what you'd qualify for, we can help you out with that. But we look forward to that day when we can help you get the most amount of coverage for the least amount of money. We will be blessed to help you with that. Until that day comes, you stay safe, you take care, you have a nice day. Bye-bye.